Like, so there's a saying here in Hawaii, and maybe it's elsewhere too, but it's like, we were always told, never turn your back on the ocean.
Never, yeah.
And it's meant like literally as well as figuratively, of like, never, like you said, get relaxed or turn your attention away or think you've got it all under control in the ocean, because the ocean is always going to overpower you at some point. But also, like, never look away and from your surroundings and stuff, because as soon as you do, that's when it happens.
Yeah. Seriously, it has that invisible power that a lot of people who aren't used to it, because say someone just gets here from even just the mainland, who's been in the ocean a couple times in like California or something, there's this like invisible power here, especially on North Shore.
Yeah.
There's so much energy even in still water. You could not see a wave. And like say somewhere like Eukai, the sandbar right next to Pipeline, is a perfect example, because the sand drops off to super deep to where you can't touch.
Yeah.
During the summer, it goes from like knee deep, waist deep, and then all of a sudden it's like 6 feet deep, 7 feet deep, and you're underwater. And there's these intense like currents that are always moving along the shore. Like for someone like us, we're fine because we're so used to and grew up here and surf for a living. But being such a huge tourist destination, you see tourists all the time just get caught in what looks like nothing, but they're like in pure panic, like in still water, and they're getting sucked around, sucked under, and like nearly drowning.
And they are drowning.
Yeah,
they die
no, they
sometimes.
are, yeah.
They fully die.
Yeah.
And you would think like, oh, that's a person that they're not physically fit, you know. No, I've seen guys like military guys, big crew come down, Keiki Shorebreak, woo, we're jumping in.
Yeah.
These guys are like super fit dudes, instantly realize their mistake and like they're being rescued. They're being pulled out. They underestimated it and the power of it. And the thing is too, is like the harder you fight it, the more exhausted you get. It's such a weird thing of like being real aware of like, okay, I got to get out of here, but I also got to just not spend all my energy fighting it because I'm just powerless. Like I got to let it take me in, hopefully.
Yeah, a set can last forever.
But people don't realize that. And so they come in, underestimate it, and end up getting absolutely cooked. But that's why we have some of the most badass lifeguards in the world. They literally do thousands of rescues a year.
I wonder what the numbers are on how many rescues a year. We should try to pull that up, Jack.
Be such a good guest.
And,
we should get Rick on here.
Oh my God, our boy Rick Williams.
Rick Williams.
What a legend. We have so many lifeguards we could interview.
Yeah. We were just down in last year, we did a group trip to Mexico. We were down at Barra hanging out. We randomly see our friend and super long time, like full career lifeguard from North Shore out there. And it was just this funny paradox because we're out having a hell time. He's having a good time. And then like, there's just honestly some of the biggest kooks I've ever seen happening to be surfing as well. Like I don't know where they learned their surf etiquette, but like for just a basic example, like if you're going down the wave, you have limited options, right? You can you can only really go one direction at a point break, and that's down the face of the wave. But if you're paddling back out, you don't have the right of way. You get out of the guy's way that's on the wave. Yeah. You can go in, you can go out, you can just move like laterally. You can like get out of the way. You can put yourself in the white water and get a little duck dive hold down, a little beat down, and get out of his way. But people, I saw him doing it in front of you, me, Rick, Aaron, throwing their boards, scratching to get into the face of the wave where the only line you have to go is very near them. And I'm like, you don't have the right of way here. Like, and
it's crazy.
I saw you on a wave literally go, get out of the way. Like, yell at someone who was just like jamming to what looked like purposely get in your line.
Yeah, dude. I was talking to Pizel about this. John Pizel, our shaper. He's probably not going to want me to tell people about this because I was like, we got to get you on. Save this for the podcast, because he was going off about people just like not like surf etiquette has changed even since we were kids, you know?
Yeah.
It's changed globally for the worse. It's not getting better.
Yeah.
Cause like when we grew up, you get out of the way. Like if you have someone coming down the line, you go into the impact zone if you have to stay out of their way, because that's something that's part of like surf etiquette.
Yeah.
Or like say you're at not your home spot and there's locals out. When you think it's your turn, it's still not your turn.
Yeah.
Whether that's applies for us when we go places or people that come here. I think that was his line. He's like, when you think it's your turn, it's still not your turn.
Yeah.
I was like, that's perfect, because people now are like, oh, they've been surfing for a little bit and they're like, oh, well, it's my turn now, when it's like they're at some new spot or something, and it's like, no, it's never your turn when you
I've
come.
seen them just take the "I'm deeper, so it's my turn" rule to the extreme. Like, that's the hard rule. Like, just because they end up on the other side, like, even though they just caught a wave, that is their turn to go. But there's so many intricacies. That's the word.
I don't know. You're the word. You're the word guy.
You're
the bookworm.
But there is, and
we'll make it up. We'll make it a word.
Everywhere we go, we respect the locals of that given location.
Yeah, like Tahiti, where we just were.
Hey, you're the guy here. Pal around me 10 times. Like, I get it. You're trying to hold down your spot. But Tahiti's a little different because we have been going there for 20 years and we have our level of respect too. But any new spot and then any newcomer there is like, you just give way to the locals. And I saw this in the comments talking about, or maybe it was on my YouTube. We're going off on a big rant here, but the guy was tripping about the localism thing. And he was like, localism is the lamest thing. And I can't even believe what you said, that CT surfers, you won't let them get waves at pipe and this and that. And I was just like, wow, like he was tripping on why anyone thinks they can be a local at any one spot.
Yeah, it's crazy. I put out a whole YouTube video on localism. I tried to explain it.
Oh, he needs to watch the video.
Yeah, I mean, we can link the video in the description on YouTube, but I was just saying all this stuff like, hey, this is just how surfing works, and it's how it's always worked. It's not like nothing against you or the people. Like, it's so strange that people don't, they feel offended maybe, and they feel like, oh, it's my turn because I've been waiting. I'm a surfer.
Yeah.
And I'm here to catch waves. Like,
I get their view, but it's just different.
I don't get it. Like,
I mean, I think like they're confused on the part of like that person has spent their entire life at that spot and they feel they have a priority to it, in which in surfing they do. But they feel like, no, like I just started surfing. I thought we're all taking turns every time.
Yeah, true.
If everyone's new and surfing a new spot together, everyone's taking turns. Mm-hmm. We've done that at spots when no one else has been out and it's just our crew on a strike mission. Think, perfect example, Panama Silverbacks. There was no locals out, right? Yeah. We're all taking turns.
Yeah,
and
everyone takes
turns.
turns.
If someone who was on a different program than ours, not with our group, comes out, everyone's in rotation. Like, yeah. But if there was a local out there and he wants to get a few waves in a row, like, bro, you hold down the spot, go.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lost thing. It's becoming a lost thing. Maybe it's because surfing is becoming so popular.
Yeah, it's being mass adopted.
Well, and then people just feel very entitled to like, why shouldn't I get that wave?
Yeah, and I think
they don't grow up used to like.
It feels like a sensitive subject here in Hawaii, but they don't realize when we're talking about it, like that's everywhere else in the world. It's at every big major spot. Think of Snapper Rocks. You're gonna have Dingo and Mick and all those guys, Parko, holding that spot down. Right?
Dingo doesn't burn guys out there.
Really? Yeah.